I'd like to tell you a brief story, if I may, about how I became involved with the Phantom of the Opera. To do that, I have to paint a picture. The year, 1984. The place, the Apollo Victoria Theatre in London, upstairs, after the final preview of Starlight Express, outside the men's room. The players, Andrew Lloyd Webber and yours truly. Action. Andrew is headed for the loo. And on his way, he spies me and says, "Michael, we must do Phantom of the Opera together." So not being as foolish as I look, I said, "Yes, Andrew, love to." The next morning, I rushed out and bought the book. And after reading through it a couple of times, I quickly realized there were only two male roles of any consequence. One was the handsome young nobleman, Raoul, and the other, a rather grotesque, slightly older man, the Phantom. Well, of course, I assume he wants me to play Raoul. So the next day, I go out and I get a copy of the Claude Rains film version as the Phantom. And as the handsome young nobleman, Nelson Eddy. So for the next 12 months, I studied this video morning, noon, and night. I lived and breathed Nelson Eddy. At the end of 12 months, for all intents and purposes, I was Nelson Eddy. I looked like Nelson Eddy, I talked like Nelson, I even walked like Nelson Eddy. Hey. Finally, after 12 months of this, Andrew calls me. So I said, "Don't be ridiculous, operator. Of course I pay for the call." So he said, "I want to see you tomorrow morning." So the next morning, I ran. Well, I didn't run. I walked as fast as I could. And I walked into the theatre. I struck a pose, and I said, "Well, Andrew, I think you've got your handsome young nobleman, Raoul." And he said, "Yes, we do. We hired him last week." I said, "What?" He said, "We want you to be the Phantom." I said, "What? The ugly old..." And so I was. For over 1,300 performances, I donned the mask and the cape.